If you'd asked me what I expected from our baby shower, I would have said something simple. Laughter, food, friends, and the sweet promise of new beginnings. I never ever imagined it would become the day an old ghost tried to walk right into our future. My wife, Marina, moved gently around the house that morning. Her hands were always resting on her stomach, like she was shielding our unborn daughter from the world. She was glowing, but not in that cliché pregnancy way. It was a softness in her eyes whenever she looked at the decorations, our home, our life. I swear, I loved her more in that moment than I had in years. Pink ribbons hung from the shelves, white balloons drifted lazily in the corners, and our closest friend, Lyra, was buzzing around with her camera, capturing every single detail. "This is going to be perfect," she said, smiling. And you know what? I believed her. It felt perfect. Our guests just started arriving one by one, filling the house with this warm, happy laughter and the sweet smell of cupcakes. Marina's cousins came in with arms full of pastel-wrapped gifts. Our neighbors hugged her belly like they were greeting a tiny, precious miracle. It was the kind of peaceful, perfect afternoon that felt almost unreal, like a dream. And then came the knock. It wasn't a soft, friendly rap. It was a firm, unfamiliar knock that didn't belong to any of the guests we were expecting. My heart skipped a beat. "I'll get it," I said, excusing myself with a smile I suddenly didn't feel. When I opened the door, the man standing there wasn't someone I knew, but the name he spoke. It hit me like a punch straight to the chest. "Alden," he said. Alden Price, her ex. The one man whose name she had only ever mentioned once in a shaky late-night confession when we were still newly married. The man she had run from, the man who once held the power to hurt her. My protective instincts flared up instantly. "What are you doing here?" I asked, my voice low. I stepped outside instinctively, closing the door behind me to shield Marina from this. He held a small gift bag in his hand. His expression wasn't smug or confident or even apologetic. It was just unsettled. "I heard Marina was having her baby shower today," he said quietly. "I thought I'd bring something." My first thought was, how did you even know? It felt like a violation. He added, almost as an afterthought, "I've been meaning to congratulate her." I didn't care for his tone. I didn't care for his presence. And I certainly didn't care for the sudden heavy weight that settled in my stomach. This was our day. Our family's day. "You shouldn't be here," I said, my voice firm. "She doesn't need this kind of stress today." Not today. He didn't fight. He didn't push. He just nodded with this strange sadness that irritated me more than anger ever could have. But before either of us could say another word, the front door creaked open behind me. "Callum?" Her voice was soft. And then it turned sharp. Marina froze the second she saw him. Her hand flew protectively to her stomach. Her breath hitched. Her entire body reacted before her mind even had a chance to catch up. The color drained from her face. "Alden," she whispered, and there it was. The flicker of recognition, a flash of old memories. A ghost stepping out of her past and right onto our porch. Lara appeared behind her, her eyes bouncing between us, looking like she'd just walked into a scene she immediately regretted. The happy bubble we'd been in just moments before had popped. "What are you doing here?" Marina asked again, but this time her voice was trembling. "I just wanted to congratulate you," he said, sounding fragile and small. "No," she whispered, shaking her head. "You shouldn't be here." For a moment, I felt this wave of relief. She didn't want him. She didn't smile at him. She didn't step toward him. She wanted him gone. But then, "Wait," she said. That single word hit me like a cold blade. My heart sank. She wasn't reaching for him, was she? No, she was reaching for something else. Closure. Something she had never been able to get. Something that had been left unfinished. "How did you know about today?" she asked, steadying herself with her hand on the doorframe. He swallowed hard. I ran into your cousin Hannah last week. She mentioned it by accident. I thought maybe, I don't know. I thought it might be okay to stop by. It isn't, Marina said, her voice clear and strong. It would never be. That was the first time her voice truly broke. The strength was a shield for the pain underneath. She stepped down onto the porch, her eyes locked on him. But it wasn't with longing. It was with the kind of deep old pain that needs to be exhaled before it completely suffocates you. Alden, she said softly, we weren't good for each other. That ended for a reason. He just nodded slowly. I know. I needed to say something I never said. The air shifted. The world went silent. It felt like everyone me, Lara, even the house behind us, was holding its breath. I never apologized, he finally said, the words hanging heavy in the air, for everything I put you through. For the way things ended. Marina's jaw trembled, but her eyes were fierce. You don't get to decide what follows me, she whispered, and her words were like a declaration. I built a life with Callum. A good life. A life I'm proud of. She looked at me then, and everything in her face and her eyes just softened. It was a look of pure, unshakable love. This is where I belong. In that single moment, every doubt, every fear I had just dissolved into nothing. She wasn't stuck in the past. She wasn't torn between two lives. She had already chosen. She had chosen me, our daughter, our future. Alden lowered his eyes, finally seeming to understand. I'm glad, he said quietly. I just needed to see that you were okay. He might have meant it. But I wasn't giving him anything more. Our day had been disrupted enough. You've seen what you needed to see, I said firmly, stepping closer to Marina, my arm going around her. Now go. He finally turned and walked away, leaving his past and our future completely separate. As I held my wife, I knew our perfect day had been interrupted, but our perfect life was stronger than ever. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've ever had a moment that tested your relationship and made it stronger, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life stories. See you next time.